In this video, we're going to review circles, which you learned majority of in geometry, but it is one of our conic sections, so we'll go ahead and take a look at it. You have two forms that you'll see the equation, the general form, and then what we're going to use most of the time, which is standard form. Standard form is the easiest to use because you can pull out the center, H and K there, and the radius. You have everything you need for the circle. Something to pay attention to is the equation is given as minus. So when you pull it out, it becomes positive. That means if it's negative, it becomes positive. If this was positive, that means H is actually negative. So always do the opposite of what it is. Another way you're going to be tricked is this is R squared. So it's already going to be given to you squared. So make sure when you pull it out, you're taking the square root. So let's take a look at the first problem. We have x minus 1, y plus 2, and 36. So our center comes from these x and y values, but remember you do the opposite. So that'll be positive 1 and negative 2. And then for the radius, this is already r squared. So take the square root of it, and that's 6. And this is all we need to graph it. First thing I'll do is plot my center at 1, negative 2. And then to plot the radius, I'm just going to go up, down, left, and right 6 in every direction. Now make sure you're graphing a circle. Do not draw a square here. Know what you're graphing. Perfect. Done. Let's try this one. So my center, x value would be positive 5. Well, there's nothing with my y value, so 0. Radius is not 4, it's what? Good. 2. Let's graph it. 5, 0, up 2, down 2, left 2, right 2. Draw your circle. Easy. Let's look at some word problems. So we're going to write the equation of the circle given this information. So we are given the center, we're given the radius. That's literally all we need. So we're going to plug it into our standard form equation here. So this guy is H, this is K, and then that's R. So I'm going to say x minus h, so minus negative 3 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals, and this has to be r squared, so square root of 3 squared. And I'll just go through and simplify this. Minus a negative we know is a plus. I don't need that 0, so I also don't need parentheses. And the square and the square root will cancel. Got it. Okay, let's try one that's not so straightforward. We have the center, so this is H and K, but we're not given the radius. We're given another point on the outside of the circle. However, we know the distance from the center to the outside is the radius. So let's use distance formula to find the length of the radius. So square root, and you're going to do x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. So let's look at x minus x. So 4 minus 5 plus y minus y. And now we're solving. So that's negative 1. Well, negative 1 squared is 1. This is negative 5. Well, negative 5 squared is 25. So the radius is the square root of 26. And I'm going to leave it like that. So now we're going to write our equation using h, k, and the radius. So x minus 4 squared plus y minus, well, it's negative 2. So let's go ahead and say plus 2 squared. And now I need the radius squared. So root of 26 squared is just 26. Any questions? Okay, let's continue. So let's do one more word problem that's even less than what we're given before. This time we don't have the center or the radius. We just have 2 points on the edge of the circle. So I'm going to draw this one so we can see what's going on. So let's do this. We don't know the center, but we'll say these points are here and here. And yes, I know this is not drawn to scale. We get it. Okay, so my center is in the middle of these 2 points, aka I need to find the midpoint. To find the midpoint, you average the x's, average the y's. So since I only have 2 points, I add them together and divide by 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10. We're going to divide it by 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then we're going to divide it by 2. So my center is at 5, 2. And there's our HK. So this is something we're going to need for later, so don't lose her. Now the next thing I need is the radius. You have a couple options here. You can do the distance formula between these 2 points. That'll give you the length of the diameter, so don't forget to divide by 2. You could do the distance between these points or the distance between these points, and that's already the radius. So that seems like less work to me, so I'm going to find the distance between these 2 points just like we did on the last problem. So for my radius, I'm taking the square root of x minus x, so 2 minus 5 squared plus y minus y squared. And now let's figure out what this is. 2 minus 5 is -3. -3 squared is 9. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. That is the square root of 25, which we know is 5. So that is our radius. I have the center. I have the radius. So now I'm ready to write the equation. X minus 5, y minus 2 equals, now I'm not going to say 5, 5 squared, 25. And there's your review of circles. You go ahead and try these 2 for homework. Like and subscribe. Bye!